The reason you feel out of place in normal situations is because you weren't designed for normal situations. You were built for chaos, crisis, and conflict that would destroy ordinary people. Your restlessness isn't a personality flaw. It's a warrior's instinct telling you that comfort is the enemy of your potential. Every time you felt like you don't fit in, your spirit was trying to tell you that you weren't meant to fit in. You were meant to stand out and fight battles that others are too comfortable to fight. Maria Rodriguez pushed her mop across the marble floors of the corporate headquarters at 3 in the morning, just like she had done for 12 years. But something was different about Maria. While everyone else saw a cleaning lady, Maria saw numbers. She noticed patterns. She observed things that others missed because they were too busy rushing through their important lives to pay attention to details. One night, as Maria emptied the trash bins in the accounting department, she noticed something strange. The same executive's office had receipts that didn't match the expense reports she glimpsed on his desk. Night after night, she saw more inconsistencies. Maria wasn't looking for trouble, but trouble was looking for someone with her unique set of skills, someone who was invisible, observant, and had access to information others couldn't see. When Maria finally spoke up about what she observed, she uncovered a $1 million embezzlement scheme that had been running for years. The very qualities that made her excellent at cleaning, attention to detail, methodical approach, and the ability to see what others overlooked were the exact weapons needed to clean up corruption that was destroying the company. You see, Maria thought she was built to clean floors, but she was actually built for war against corruption. Her mop was just her training sword. Right now, as you sit there listening to my voice, you think you know what you were made for. You think you understand your purpose, your capabilities, your limitations. But I'm here to tell you something that's going to shake the foundation of everything you believe about yourself. You were not built for the comfortable life you're living. You were not designed for the small battles you're fighting. You were not created for the limited thinking that has convinced you that your current struggle is your final destination. You were built for war, not the kind of war that destroys, but the kind of war that liberates. Not the kind of war that tears down, but the kind of war that builds up. You carry within your DNA, within your spirit, within the very fabric of your being, weapons that you don't even know exist. You have been equipped with an arsenal so sophisticated, so powerful, so precisely designed for your specific mission that when you finally understand what you're carrying, it will revolutionize not just your life, but the lives of everyone around you. But here's what the enemy doesn't want you to know. The enemy doesn't want you to realize that every struggle you faced has been boot camp. Every challenge that has knocked you down has been strength training. Every disappointment that has broken your heart has been preparing you for emotional warfare that requires someone who understands pain. Every time someone told you that you weren't good enough, smart enough, qualified enough, they were unknowingly preparing you to fight battles for people who have been told the exact same lies. The problem is that most people mistake their preparation for punishment. They think their struggles mean they're losing, when actually their struggles mean they're in training. They think their hardships are evidence that life is against them, when actually their hardships are evidence that they're being prepared for something so significant that only someone who has been through what they've been through can handle it. Maria Rodriguez didn't know she was a detective. She thought she was just someone who cleaned up messes. But the truth is, she was born to clean up messes, just not the kind she thought. Your current position, your current circumstances, your current challenges are not your destination. They are your military academy. They are your specialized training for the war you were born to fight. Every skill you have developed, every talent you possess, every experience you have survived, every relationship you have navigated, every failure you have overcome, all of these are weapons in your arsenal. But most people die without ever opening their armory. They spend their entire lives thinking they're carrying burdens when they're actually carrying weapons. The enemy's greatest strategy is not to destroy you. It's to convince you that you're ordinary. It's to make you believe that your life is random, that your struggles are meaningless, that your dreams are impossible, that your potential is limited. The enemy wants you to see yourself as a victim instead of a warrior. The enemy wants you to focus on what's happening to you instead of what's being developed in you. But I'm here to wake you up. I'm here to sound the alarm. I'm here to tell you that your time of preparation is coming to an end and your time of deployment is beginning. The world is waiting for the war that only you can fight. There are battles being lost right now because the warrior designed to win them is still thinking they're just a janitor, just a student, just a worker, just ordinary. You are not ordinary. You never were ordinary. You were built for war, and the battlefield is calling your name. Robert Thompson sat in the boardroom, sweat beading on his forehead as all eyes turned to him. For 37 years, he had lived with a stutter that made simple conversations feel like climbing mountains. Every word was a battle. Every sentence was a war. When his supervisor asked him to present the quarterly financial analysis to the executive team, Robert wanted to disappear. But something extraordinary happened that day. As Robert began to speak, carefully choosing each word, deliberately pacing each phrase, something magical occurred in that room. People stopped checking their phones. They leaned forward. They hung on every single word that came from his mouth. When Robert finished his presentation, the room was silent for a moment before erupting in appreciation. The CEO pulled Robert aside afterward and said something that changed his life forever. "Robert, in 30 years of business, I have never heard someone command a room the way you just did. Every word carried weight. Every pause had purpose. You made us think before we spoke because you showed us what it looks like to think before you speak." What Robert had spent his entire life seeing as his greatest weakness, his stutter, was actually his greatest weapon. It forced him to be intentional with his words. It taught him the power of pause. It gave him a communication style that made people listen in a world where everyone talks but nobody hears. Within 2 years, Robert Thompson became the most sought-after negotiator in his company, not despite his stutter, but because of what his stutter had taught him. He learned to weaponize what the world told him was wrong with him. You see, Robert discovered something that most people never understand. Your greatest weapon is often hidden inside what you consider your greatest weakness. The very thing that has caused you the most pain, the most embarrassment, the most frustration, is often the exact tool that has been sharpened to perfection for the battle you were born to fight. Society has taught you to hide your differences, to minimize your quirks, to apologize for your uniqueness. But what if I told you that your differences are your weapons? What if your sensitivity isn't a liability, but a radar system that can detect things others miss? What if your analytical mind isn't overthinking, but reconnaissance for strategic warfare? What if your tendency to question everything isn't rebellion, but the critical thinking needed to expose lies that others accept? You have been spending your energy trying to fix what makes you different, when you should be learning how to deploy what makes you dangerous. Every characteristic that makes you stand out, every trait that makes you uncomfortable in normal situations, every quality that makes you see the world differently, these are not flaws to be corrected. These are weapons to be mastered. The enemy has convinced you that fitting in is more important than standing out. The enemy has made you believe that being like everyone else is safer than being yourself. But warriors don't win battles by blending in. Warriors win battles by bringing unique capabilities that the enemy didn't expect and couldn't prepare for. Your experiences have been loading your weapons with specialized ammunition. That rejection you faced taught you resilience that can withstand attacks others couldn't survive. That betrayal you endured taught you discernment that can spot deception from miles away. That loss you suffered taught you the value of what matters most, giving you clarity in battles where others get distracted by meaningless things. Every skill you have ever developed has warfare applications that you haven't recognized yet. Your ability to organize isn't just about keeping things neat. It's about creating order in chaotic situations where others panic. Your talent for listening isn't just being polite. It's gathering intelligence that gives you strategic advantages. Your gift for encouraging others isn't just being nice. It's the ability to strengthen allies and build the coalitions needed to win major battles. But here's what most people miss. Your weapons aren't just for your benefit. They were designed to fight battles that affect other people. Your unique combination of skills, experiences, and perspectives creates a warrior profile that can win victories others cannot achieve. There are people waiting to be liberated by battles that only you can fight. There are problems waiting to be solved by solutions that only you can provide. The world doesn't need another copy of someone else. The world needs the original version of you, fully armed and ready for combat. Your job is not to become someone else. Your job is to become the most dangerous version of yourself. Dangerous to everything that opposes truth, justice, progress, and human potential. Stop trying to fix your weapons. Start learning how to use them. Stop apologizing for your arsenal. Start deploying it. The battlefield is waiting for a warrior who fights like you fight, thinks like you think, and sees what you see. Your unique warfare style is needed now more than ever. Think about this carefully. Right now, there's someone somewhere facing a challenge that your specific combination of experiences has prepared you to solve. There's a problem in the world that requires exactly the kind of thinking that your mind produces. There's a battle being fought that needs exactly the kind of strength that your struggles have developed in you. But if you keep hiding your weapons, if you keep minimizing your capabilities, if you keep believing that you're not qualified for significant battles, then that problem remains unsolved. That person remains stuck. That battle remains lost. Your refusal to recognize your warfare potential doesn't just limit you, it limits everyone who needs what you carry. Every master warrior knows that the most effective weapons are often the ones that don't look like weapons at all. The enemy expects swords and shields, but gets defeated by tools they never saw coming. Your kindness in a cruel world is a weapon. Your persistence when others quit is a weapon. Your ability to see potential when others see problems is a weapon. Your willingness to ask difficult questions when others stay silent is a weapon. The enemy has spent years convincing you that these qualities make you weak, when actually they make you dangerous to every system that depends on people staying small, staying quiet, staying convinced that they don't matter. Your compassion threatens every organization that profits from people's pain. Your integrity challenges every institution that operates on deception. Your creativity disrupts every structure that benefits from keeping things the way they've always been.
You are not carrying ordinary tools. You are carrying revolutionary weapons that have the power to change not just your life, but entire systems, entire communities, entire generations. The question is not whether you have what it takes to fight. The question is whether you have the courage to acknowledge what you're carrying and the wisdom to understand how powerful you really are.
Angela Brooks was drowning, or at least that's what everyone told her. Single mother of 3, working at a diner from 6 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon, then rushing to her evening job at a call center until midnight, then going home to help her kids with homework and prepare for the next day. Friends called it surviving, family called it struggling, society called it barely making it, but Angela called it something different. She called it boot camp. Every morning when that alarm went off at 5, Angela didn't see punishment, she saw training. When she had to solve a customer's complex problem at the call center while simultaneously calculating how much money she needed for her daughter's school supplies, she wasn't multitasking out of desperation. She was developing combat-level problem-solving skills that most people never acquire. When Angela had to negotiate with landlords, manage 3 different schedules, stretch $15 into a week's worth of meals, and still find time to encourage her children to believe in their dreams, she wasn't just surviving poverty. She was mastering crisis management, strategic resource allocation, time optimization, and inspirational leadership all at the same time. Then the day came when Angela's world changed. A crisis management consulting firm was looking for someone who could handle multiple emergencies simultaneously, someone who could think clearly under extreme pressure, someone who could motivate teams when everything was falling apart. The position required someone with real-world experience in handling chaos, not just theoretical knowledge from business school. Angela got that job not despite her struggles, but because of them. Her 3 jobs hadn't been 3 jobs. They had been a specialized military academy that produced skills no university could teach. Within 18 months, Angela was leading crisis response teams for major corporations, earning more in 1 month than she used to make in 6 months at her 3 jobs combined. You see, Angela understood something that separates warriors from victims. She understood that the difference between boot camp and punishment is your mentality. She understood that the difference between training and trauma is your perspective. She understood that the difference between preparation and pain is your recognition of what's really happening. Right now, you are either in boot camp or you are being punished. You are either being prepared or you are being destroyed. You are either developing warfare capabilities or you are being defeated. The difference is not your circumstances. The difference is your mentality. A warrior mentality sees every pressure as strength training. A victim mentality sees every pressure as proof that life is unfair. A warrior mentality sees every conflict as practice for bigger battles. A victim mentality sees every conflict as evidence that they can't win. A warrior mentality sees every limitation as an opportunity to develop creative solutions. A victim mentality sees every limitation as proof that they're not meant to succeed. The enemy's most effective weapon against you is not your circumstances. The enemy's most effective weapon against you is convincing you to interpret your circumstances through the lens of victimhood instead of warfare. When you see yourself as a victim, you focus on what's being done to you. When you see yourself as a warrior, you focus on what's being developed in you. Comfort is the enemy of your potential. Safety is the assassin of your greatness. Ease is the poison that kills your warfare capabilities. Every great warrior knows that the most dangerous person in any battle is the one who has nothing left to lose and everything to gain. But our society has trained you to avoid discomfort, to seek security, to choose the easy path whenever possible. That's not how warriors are made. Warriors are forged in fire. Warriors are developed through pressure. Warriors are created by circumstances that would break ordinary people. If your life has been easy, you're probably not ready for major battles. If your life has been challenging, you're probably more prepared than you realize. The battlefield mentality understands that every challenge is combat training disguised as hardship. Every difficult person you encounter is teaching you how to handle opposition. Every financial struggle you face is teaching you resource management under pressure. Every relationship conflict you navigate is teaching you diplomacy and negotiation. Every health issue you overcome is teaching you the value of strength and endurance. But here's what most people miss. Warriors don't avoid battles. They prepare for bigger ones. The goal is not to find a life without challenges. The goal is to develop the capabilities to handle increasingly significant challenges. The goal is not to avoid warfare. The goal is to become so skilled at warfare that you can win battles that matter. Your current struggles are developing your warfare muscles. Your present difficulties are calibrating your weapon systems. Your existing pressures are testing your equipment under field conditions. But if you keep seeing these things as problems instead of preparation, you'll miss the entire point of what's happening to you. The battlefield mentality asks different questions. Instead of why is this happening to me, it asks, what is this developing in me? Instead of how can I avoid this, it asks, how can I master this? Instead of when will this end, it asks, what am I becoming through this? Every master warrior knows that the battle is won or lost in the mind before it's ever fought on the field.
Your mentality determines your methodology. Your perspective shapes your performance. Your understanding of what's happening to you controls your response to what's happening to you. The world needs warriors who have been through what you've been through, who understand what you understand, who carry what you carry. Your struggles haven't been random. Your challenges haven't been meaningless. Your battles haven't been purposeless. They have been preparing you for a war that only someone with your specific training can win.
Now that you understand you carry weapons and you've developed the battlefield mentality, the question becomes, how do you deploy what you've been given? How do you transform recognition into action? How do you move from knowing you're a warrior to actually fighting like one? The first thing you must understand is that every warrior has a unique warfare style. Maria Rodriguez fought with observation and integrity. Robert Thompson fought with careful communication and strategic thinking. Angela Brooks fought with crisis management and resource optimization. Your warfare style is different from all of theirs because your combination of weapons, training, and experiences is unique to you. Some warriors are frontline fighters who engage problems directly, head-on, with bold confrontation. Others are strategic planners who win battles through careful preparation and timing. Some are infiltrators who work within systems to change them from the inside. Others are bridge builders who win through alliances and coalition building. Some are innovators who create new solutions that make old problems irrelevant. The key is not to fight like someone else. The key is to fight like you. Your warfare style has been developing your entire life through your natural tendencies, your learned skills, and your life experiences. Stop trying to be the warrior you think you should be. Start being the warrior you actually are. But here's where most people make their first tactical error. They try to fight alone. They think being a warrior means being independent, self-sufficient, isolated. That's not warfare, that's suicide. Every effective military operation depends on intelligence networks, supply chains, communication systems, and strategic alliances. The lone wolf approach might work in movies, but it fails in real battles that matter. Look around you right now. Who are the people in your environment who share your values but have different skills? Who are the individuals who fight different battles but believe in the same outcomes? Who are the warriors you've been ignoring because they don't look like warriors or because they fight in ways you don't understand? Your deployment strategy must include alliance building. Find the people who are fighting battles adjacent to yours. Connect with individuals whose skills complement your skills. Build relationships with warriors whose networks extend your reach. Most major victories require multiple types of warriors working together, each contributing their unique capabilities to a common mission. But alliances are only as strong as your individual contribution to them. You cannot build effective partnerships if you don't know what you bring to the table. You cannot create powerful teams if you're unclear about your own value. You cannot attract the right allies if you don't understand your own warfare style and how it fits into larger strategic operations. This means you must stop minimizing your contributions. You must stop saying things like, I'm just, or I only, or I don't really. Warriors don't minimize their capabilities, they maximize their deployment. Warriors don't downplay their weapons, they sharpen them for maximum effectiveness. Warriors don't hide their strength, they use it to strengthen others. Your environment is not neutral territory. Everything around you is either ammunition for your battles or obstacles to your victory. That job you hate might be the training ground for leadership skills you'll need later. That difficult person in your life might be teaching you patience and strategic thinking. That financial pressure you're facing might be forcing you to develop creativity and resourcefulness. That health challenge you're dealing with might be building the emotional intelligence needed for future battles involving other people's pain. But you have to learn to see your environment strategically. Instead of just reacting to your circumstances, start asking, how can I use this situation to develop my warfare capabilities? Instead of just complaining about your challenges, start asking, what skills are these challenges requiring me to develop? Instead of just enduring your difficulties, start asking, how are these difficulties preparing me for battles I can't see yet? This is what separates strategic warriors from reactive fighters. Reactive fighters respond to whatever comes at them. Strategic warriors use whatever comes at them to position themselves for greater victories. Reactive fighters let their environment control their actions. Strategic warriors learn to use their environment as a weapon. The difference between fighting and warring strategically is the difference between random activity and purposeful action. Fighting is emotional. Warring is intelligent. Fighting is reactive. Warring is proactive. Fighting seeks to win the current battle. Warring seeks to win the current battle in a way that positions you to win future battles. Strategic warfare understands that every battle you fight should make you stronger for the next battle. Every victory you achieve should increase your capacity for greater victories. Every skill you develop should multiply your effectiveness in multiple areas. Every alliance you build should expand your reach and influence. But strategic warfare also understands timing. Not every battle should be fought immediately. Not every injustice should be confronted today. Not every opportunity should be seized right now. Part of warfare deployment is learning when to engage and when to prepare for engagement. Part of being a warrior is knowing when to strike and when to position yourself for a more effective strike later. The complaints you have about your life are actually intelligence reports about battles you're supposed to fight. The problems you see in your community are mission briefings for warfare you're supposed to conduct. The injustices that make you angry are target identification for battles you're supposed to win. Your frustration with how things are is actually your radar system detecting where your warfare capabilities are needed. Stop complaining and start deploying. Stop talking about problems and start solving them. Stop waiting for someone else to fight the battles you were equipped to fight. Stop hoping that someone else will solve the problems you were trained to solve. The world doesn't need your commentary on what's wrong. The world needs your warfare against what's wrong. But deployment requires more than just good intentions. Deployment requires systematic preparation and methodical execution. You cannot win battles with passion alone. You need strategy, you need intelligence, you need resources, you need timing, you need precision. Every effective warrior develops what I call a deployment protocol. This is your systematic approach to engaging battles. It starts with reconnaissance, gathering information about the problem you're facing. Who are the key players? What are the underlying causes? Where are the points of leverage? What resources are available? Who are potential allies? What are the risks and opportunities? Too many people rush into battles without proper intelligence. They see a problem and immediately react with emotion instead of responding with strategy. They attack symptoms instead of causes. They fight individuals instead of systems. They waste ammunition on minor skirmishes while missing opportunities for major victories. Smart warfare deployment also requires resource management. Every battle requires investment of time, energy, emotional capital, and often financial resources. You cannot fight every battle at maximum intensity. You must learn to allocate your warfare resources based on strategic priorities. Some battles deserve full engagement. Some battles require minimal investment. Some battles should be avoided entirely because they distract from more important campaigns. The wisest warriors understand that saying yes to one battle means saying no to another battle. Every commitment you make is a choice about where to deploy your limited warfare resources. Every project you take on is a decision about what projects you cannot take on. Every relationship you invest in is a choice about what relationships will receive less of your attention. This is why mission clarity is so critical for effective deployment. If you don't know what battles you're supposed to fight, you waste your weapons on the wrong targets. If you don't understand your warfare mission, you'll engage in conflicts that drain your strength without advancing your cause. If you're unclear about your purpose, you'll deploy your capabilities randomly instead of strategically. Your mission is not to fight every battle you see. Your mission is to fight the specific battles you are equipped to win. Your mission is not to solve every problem you encounter. Your mission is to solve the problems that match your unique capabilities and calling. Your mission is not to help everyone who needs help. Your mission is to help the people you're uniquely positioned to help in ways that others cannot help them. Understanding this changes everything about how you deploy your weapons. It helps you say no to good opportunities so you can say yes to great opportunities. It helps you avoid battles that would exhaust you so you can engage in battles that energize you. It helps you focus your firepower on targets that matter instead of scattering your shots across meaningless conflicts. But here's the final key to effective deployment. You must be willing to start before you feel ready. Waiting until you feel completely prepared is another form of avoiding the battle. No warrior ever feels completely ready for the battles they're called to fight. Readiness is not a feeling, Minus. Readiness is a decision. You have enough weapons to start the battle you know you're supposed to fight. You have enough training to engage the problems you've been complaining about. You have enough allies to begin the mission you've been delaying. You have enough resources to take the first steps toward the victory you've been dreaming about. The battlefield is not waiting for you to feel confident. The battlefield is waiting for you to show up. Your weapons are not waiting for you to feel worthy of them. Your weapons are waiting for you to use them. Your mission is not waiting for you to feel ready. Your mission is waiting for you to be obedient to what you already know you're supposed to do.
Maria Rodriguez is no longer just a cleaning lady. She is the head of corporate security for a Fortune 500 company, using her gift of observation and attention to detail to protect millions of dollars and thousands of jobs. She trains other security professionals how to see what others miss, how to notice patterns that reveal threats, how to use invisibility as a strategic advantage. Maria discovered that she wasn't built to clean floors. She was built to clean house. Robert Thompson is no longer the stuttering accountant hiding in the back of meetings. He is the chief negotiator for international business deals worth hundreds of millions of dollars. His deliberate speech pattern, his careful word selection, his strategic use of pause and silence, these have become legendary in corporate circles. Companies hire him specifically because of his communication style, not despite it. Robert discovered that his stutter wasn't a communication barrier, it was a communication weapon. Angela Brooks is no longer the overwhelmed single mother working 3 jobs to survive. She is the CEO of her own crisis management firm, leading teams through corporate emergencies, natural disasters, and organizational transformations. Her ability to handle multiple crises simultaneously, to think clearly under pressure, to motivate people when everything is falling apart, these skills now serve corporations, governments, and nonprofit organizations worldwide. Angela discovered that her struggles weren't punishment. They were preparation for a leadership role she never could have imagined. All three of these warriors have something in common. They stopped seeing themselves as victims of their circumstances and started seeing themselves as products of their preparation. They stopped hiding from their differences and started weaponizing their uniqueness. They stopped asking why things were happening to them and started asking what was being developed in them. But their victories didn't just change their lives. Maria's work has prevented corporate theft that would have cost thousands of people their jobs. Robert's negotiations have created business partnerships that employ tens of thousands of people across multiple countries. Angela's crisis management has saved companies from bankruptcy, protected communities from disasters, and helped organizations navigate changes that affect millions of lives. You see, when warriors step into their true identity and begin fighting the battles they were designed to fight, their victories create ripple effects that extend far beyond their own lives. Your victory is not just about you. Your breakthrough is not just for you. Your success is not just to benefit you. You were designed to win specific battles that will impact generations of people you may never meet. This is your victory mandate. This is your warfare assignment. This is your non-negotiable mission. You were not randomly placed on this earth at this time in history. You were strategically positioned to fight battles that are happening right now in this generation that require exactly the combination of weapons, training, and perspective that you carry. The problems you see in the world are not random observations. They are mission briefings. The injustices that anger you are not random emotions. They are target identification. The solutions that seem obvious to you but invisible to others are not random thoughts. They are strategic intelligence for battles you're supposed to fight. Right now, there are systems operating in the world that depend on people like you staying small, staying quiet, staying convinced that they don't have what it takes to make a difference. There are institutions that profit from your insecurity, your self-doubt, your willingness to accept limitation as normal. There are structures in place that benefit when warriors don't recognize their weapons, don't develop their battlefield mentality, and don't deploy their capabilities. But your victory threatens all of these systems. Your breakthrough challenges all of these institutions. Your success disrupts all of these structures. When you step into your warfare identity and begin winning the battles you were designed to win, you don't just change your life, you change the entire landscape for everyone who comes after you. Your children are watching to see if it's possible to overcome the challenges they're facing. Your community is waiting to see if problems can actually be solved by ordinary people with extraordinary weapons. Your generation is looking for evidence that individuals can still make a difference in a world that feels too big, too complex, too corrupt to change. You are that evidence. Your victory is their proof. Your breakthrough is their permission. Your success is their authorization to believe that they too were built for something greater than what they're currently experiencing.
But victory requires more than just good intentions. Victory requires more than just positive thinking. Victory requires more than just hoping things will get better. Victory requires deployment. Victory requires engagement. Victory requires you to stop preparing for the battle and start fighting the battle. The time for hiding is over. The season of preparation is ending. The moment of deployment has arrived. You have been equipped. You have been trained. You have been positioned. You have been prepared. Everything you need to win the battles you were designed to fight has already been placed within your reach. The question is no longer whether you have what it takes. The question is whether you will use what you have. The question is no longer whether you're qualified. The question is whether you will step into the qualification that your experiences have already provided. The question is no longer whether you're ready. The question is whether you will decide to be ready. Your victory mandate is not contingent on perfect conditions. Your warfare assignment does not wait for ideal circumstances. Your mission does not depend on having all the resources you think you need. Your victory mandate is activated by your decision to stop waiting and start warring. The battlefield is calling your name. The problems that match your weapons are waiting for your engagement. The people who need the victories you were designed to win are hoping you will stop hiding and start fighting. The future that depends on your success is counting on you to recognize that your time for small thinking, small actions, and small impact is over. You were not born to blend in. You were born to stand out. You were not created to fit into someone else's vision for your life. You were created to fulfill your own unique mission. You were not designed to fight other people's battles. You were designed to fight the battles that only you can win. The world has enough commentators. The world has enough critics. The world has enough people pointing out what's wrong. What the world needs now is warriors who are willing to fight against what's wrong. What the world needs now is people who will stop talking about change and start becoming the change. Your victory is not optional. Your breakthrough is not negotiable. Your success is not a luxury, Your victory is a mandate because there are people whose lives depend on the battles you were born to fight. There are problems that will remain unsolved if you don't solve them. There are victories that will remain unwon if you don't win them. The enemy is not stronger than you. The obstacles are not bigger than your weapons. The challenges are not more powerful than your training. The problems are not more complex than your solutions. You have everything you need to win every battle you were designed to fight. Your time of preparation is complete. Your time of deployment has begun. Your time of victory has arrived. Stop waiting for permission. Stop looking for approval. Stop seeking validation. You were built for war, and the war needs you now. The victory that has your name on it is waiting for you to claim it. The breakthrough that belongs to you is waiting for you to achieve it. The success that was designed for you is waiting for you to embrace it. You were built for war. Now go fight like it. But before you step into that battlefield, let me tell you something that will change how you fight forever. Your victory is not just about defeating what opposes you. Your victory is about establishing what empowers others. Every battle you win should create a pathway for someone else to win their battle. Every obstacle you overcome should become a bridge for someone else to cross. Every mountain you climb should become a stairway for someone else to ascend. This is the ultimate purpose of your warfare. You are not fighting just to win. You are fighting to create winning conditions for others. You are not battling just to break through. You are battling to break open doors that have been closed to entire communities of people. You are not warring just to prove your strength. You are warring to demonstrate that strength is available to anyone willing to recognize their weapons and deploy their capabilities. When Maria Rodriguez exposed that corruption, she didn't just save one company. She established a new standard for corporate accountability that affected entire industries. When Robert Thompson transformed his communication challenge into a strategic advantage, he didn't just change his career. He proved that every perceived limitation can become a powerful weapon. When Angela Brooks turned her crisis management skills into a business empire, she didn't just improve her family's financial situation. She created employment opportunities for hundreds of other people and showed millions of single mothers that their struggles are actually their qualifications for success. Your victory will do the same thing. When you win the battles you were designed to fight, you don't just change your circumstances, you change the entire landscape of possibility for everyone who faces similar battles. Your breakthrough becomes their evidence. Your success becomes their permission. Your victory becomes their authorization to believe that they too can overcome whatever they're facing. This is why the enemy fights so hard to keep you from recognizing your weapons. This is why the enemy works so diligently to convince you that you're ordinary. This is why the enemy invests so much energy in keeping you focused on your limitations instead of your capabilities. The enemy knows that your individual victory will trigger a cascade of victories among people who have been waiting for proof that victory is possible. Your warfare is not just personal. Your warfare is generational. Your victory will echo through time, inspiring people you will never meet to fight battles you will never see. The courage you demonstrate today will become the foundation for someone else's breakthrough tomorrow. The strength you display in your current battle will become the inspiration for someone else's victory in their future battle. You were built for war, and the time for that war is now. Not next year when you feel more prepared. Not next month when your circumstances improve. Not next week when you have more resources. Now, today, this moment, with what you have, where you are, as you are. The battlefield is waiting, and your victory is overdue.